I saw That's My Boy. So my wife
That's
said,
my boy.
That's my boy. Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello. Sorry. That's my boy. My wife wanted to take me to a movie. I wanted to see That's My Boy because I like Adam Sandler. I always have. I've always thought he was funny ever since Happy Gilmore. He just makes me laugh. So then we go see That's My Boy, and I don't know if I like him anymore. No, that's not fair. Jack and Jill is the first Adam Sandler movie I refuse to watch because it just looks so bad. Reviews were awful, but they're always awful for an Adam Sandler movie, so I don't really put too much into that. But just everything about the movie looked not interesting to me at all, so I skipped it. This came out. I liked the concept a lot. Adam Sandler plays Donnie. He's basically a teen who ends up banging his teacher, lives the dream, bangs his teacher, and is smoking hot teacher, and becomes like a local celebrity, which is pretty funny because around guys, we've all had that conversation when you hear about the hot teacher who slept with a student, and all the women are like, oh, up in arms, and guys are like, oh, I'd do it too. It's funny to see like a movie made about that. The teacher goes to jail. She ends up pregnant, having a baby. Adam Sandler has to raise that baby with the mind of a teenager who also becomes rich way too early, et cetera, et cetera. Fast forward a few years down the road, Donnie's desperately in need of money, or he's going to go to jail because he hasn't been paying taxes the entire time he's been making all this money as this little celebrity that banged his teacher. So he tries to chase down his illegitimate son, Todd, who's played by Andy Samberg, to try to get some cash. Basically, if he stages a reunion with his son, Todd, and the mom, who's still in prison, because she got the maximum sentence because she wouldn't admit that there was something wrong with their relationship. If he makes this happen, he'll get all the money he needs to make his debt go away. But unfortunately, his son has basically changed his name, changed his life. It doesn't want anything to do with either one of his parents because of the whole thing he's had to deal with his whole life and how immature his dad was, and et cetera, et cetera. Hunts him down, and of course, his son Todd is right on the eve of getting married. No coincidence at all, just random. So he decides to hang out with Todd, tries to bond with him. You guys can figure out the rest of the movie, right? It's pretty simple? Okay. No spoiler alerts, Scott. I don't want to ruin it for you. The problems I have with this movie are so simple. Adam Sandler goes in and out of character. Like, he can't decide what kind of movie he wants to make. In the trailers, you see that annoying voice he does, like he used to do in all the Saturday Night Live skits and everything. That's a prominent part of the movie, but only part of the movie. The other part of the movie, he's talking like Adam Sandler as a worn-down old guy. It makes no sense. It doesn't seem like he can. It's like if you watch Waterboy, and in between Waterboy, he was Happy Gilmore. He couldn't decide which one he wanted to be. That's kind of how this movie feels. I mean, he goes back and forth and back and forth. I had a hard time with that. Andy Samberg, you're not going to be impressed with him. He's totally the straight man. He's not the Lonely Island Andy Samberg. He's not funny. He's really just a straight man that Adam Sandler bounces off of. Vanilla Ice shows up as Donnie's best friend. He's fucking funny. Vanilla Ice made me laugh. Yeah, more than Adam Sandler did.
Like more than he did in the 80s?
The dude has no shame at all. None. No shame. He realizes that everybody's making fun of his ass. and I mean, they even do the stop, collaborate, and listen joke. I mean, you see it coming, but it's funny.
Is he playing himself?
Yes, he plays himself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Now I kind of want to see it.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. Vanilla Ice surprised the shit out of me. And actually, he ends up, because basically he's a rundown celebrity, he ends up working with Todd Bridges, and that kind of shit's pretty funny. I mean, there's definitely a lot of funny jokes in the movie. The movie itself is not good, but some of the humor is funny. I mean, I've never seen a movie where they pull, and this isn't a spoiler, it happens at the very beginning of the movie, where they pull the curtains away of a huge school auditorium while a kid's trying to give a speech, and you see this little teenager banging this smoking hot teacher. That was funny. Awful and horrible, but I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, they just showed that in a movie? Holy shit.
Wow.
But anyway, Rex Ryan shows up, Todd Bridges shows up, Susan Sarandon, a bunch of other random cameos pop up. It's like Adam Sandler just got out the celebrity phone book and started calling everybody. But the movie tries too hard to be like a gross-out comedy. If they would have went for a PG-13, I think this would have been really funny. It would have been typical Adam Sandler if he would have dropped the voice and just played, an immature Adam Sandler. Because Adam Sandler has an immature grown man down pat. He can play that character better than anybody else in the world. If he would have just done that, this movie would have been hysterical. Instead, he had to try for his old Saturday Night Live stupid-ass voice. It just wasn't funny. And then they do tons of semen jokes and dick jokes and stuff I don't personally find funny. I don't think fucking the pie is funny in American Pie. That kind of stuff doesn't make me laugh. It bores the crap out of me because I think it's so lazy. It's just like, we're going to go for gross out because we can't think of anything clever. So I just didn't like the whole style of the film. It's definitely a rated R movie. Why you would release that on Father's Day weekend when kids are going to a movie with their dads, just I don't understand. But I'm really disappointed because parts of the movie are really funny. The story is just not coherent. It tries, and I'm saying that as an Adam Sandler movie. As an Adam Sandler movie, the story makes no sense. Whatever. But there's enough funny stuff in there to make me, give it a 5 out of 10 and give it kind of a Sandler pass. I didn't think it was awful. I just didn't think it was nearly as funny as it could be. And Vanilla Ice made me laugh.